Hello adventurers, it is I, Soul's Adventure, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today, we are going to be diving into some weird sci-fi fantasy. So we're going to continue Troika. And we have here our adventurer, we have Wyatt, the Vengeful Teen of TROIKA City. So where we have left off with Wyatt. So it has been a while since we've last played and checked in with Wyatt here. So he is currently trying to find more information about his father's death. And so he has kind of learned a little bit about how the Red Priests, which is a local faction of the Troika city, they have some information that Wyatt would want to know about his father and who he was last seen with. And it was supposedly this strange woman that is now missing. So no one really knows where this woman is anymore. So the Red Priests, so they're withholding that information because they have been running into some financial kind of issues as they are kind of the leaders in managing the night market of Troika. And taxes have been going up with this night market and people have been complaining. And so the Red Priests are trying to figure out how they can get money. Like maybe there is like a new invention that they have to try to come up with to kind of beat their competitors and other gangs of Troika. And so where we are now, Wyatt, he is at a fancy hotel called the Lamassu Hotel. And we're going to use this mini as Wyatt. So he's currently at the Lamassu Hotel and he has learned of Lamassu loyalists. So these are a bunch of different people that are kind of disguised as like legitimate like businessmen and women. And Susan Lamassu, who's the owner of this hotel, we'll have her be the owner here, Susan. So she has kind of found Wyatt here lurking around at Lamassu Hotel. So she doesn't know that he is trying to help the Red Priests gain information. And she has learned, Wyatt has learned that this Lamassu Hotel, so Susan, the owner, it is a fancy kind of front of this like illegal drug exchange with the different black markets of different worlds kind of outside of Troika. And he has learned that there is a memory drug that she has created. And whoever takes this drug, it will kind of suck out some memories from your brain. And they have, or she has designed this kind of computer that turns all the memories that have been sucked out of your brain and puts it into this weird little like computer chip. And this computer chip, she has been selling it to black markets. And so the downside about this is with those memories kind of out of your brain now, people at the hotel are the victims of this, and they have no recollection or memory of taking this kind of drug or having their memories implanted into a chip. So everyone at the hotel has like no idea that this is kind of what's going on, but she is working with a bunch of different businessmen and women to kind of keep up the front of this Lamassu hotel and just get rich that way. So the Red Priests, they're struggling financially and they want to know kind of what is up with the Lamassu Hotel and how they're getting a lot of good money and traction with their faction. So that is where we are at right now. So I have over here this drawing of the Lamassu Hotel. So this is where we're at. So she just kind of finished a meeting at the convention room, and we have here the the gremlin doorman kind of, looking after the entrance there. And she's kind of like told Wyatt kind of what's going on, and she's kind of telling him this to kind of like scare him and intimidate him. And something that Wyatt has noticed is there are like no kids like running around at the hotel, and there are no like teens around his age. So he's starting to kind of realize like he's in a dangerous spot. And so yeah, so we'll see how he can like get out of this situation and eventually go back to the Red Priests and their little hub outside of this area. So yeah, that is kind of where we have left off now. So I would say probably around this time, it is the evening now. So he has spent the whole day hanging out with the Red Priests, figuring out kind of what's going on with the night market that they're in charge of. And then now he has been busy with, navigating the Lamassu Hotel, the fancy hotel over here. So I think now that it is nighttime, I do kind of want to see if Susan Lamassu, she'll probably try to get Wyatt to stay the night at the Lamassu Hotel, and maybe she would want to try to take his memories or something. And so yeah, so I can kind of see Susan Lamassu thinking that children and their memories could be really rare, and she could probably sell those memories for a good amount of money. So she's probably trying to get Wyatt to hang out at the hotel for the evening. So yeah, let me ask the fate chart. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna ask the fate chart kind of how likely is she going to kind of force Wyatt over here to stay the night at the hotel. So I'm gonna say 50-50, maybe I'm certain. Yeah, or nearly certain. So yeah, let's do that. So we will take our dice here and see. So we said nearly certain here, and this was a 66. Okay, so that is a yes, but also a random event happens here. Okay, so she's telling Wyatt to spend the night at the hotel. She'll probably give him a nice, huge private room filled with good food, maybe like video games or something, and cool toys that he could like play with. Try to just lure him into the room, and he doesn't know like how the drug and how the computer like memories work. So he also has to be careful, because he's like, okay, if I play a video game, is that rigged with Susan's plan? Or is the food drugged with the memory drug that she was talking about? So now he's kind of frozen a little bit with fear. So let's roll on the D100 random event focus here, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we got an 05. Okay, so it says here remote event. Okay. Let's do maybe locations. We can do that. So some sort of event happens, and we got a 58 modern. Okay, and then we got an 07 bright. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna use my pen here. The remote event is bright. So we got the words bright and modern. Okay. So, So let's see here. Bright and modern. So does something happen maybe within Troika City? So yeah, I'm gonna say like a 50-50. Is the remote event within Troika City? 27. Okay, yes. So is it located? I'm wondering if it's related to maybe the night market. So a 50-50. Let's see. Okay, so we got 0, so that is a no. Okay, so it's not the night market, but I'm going to interpret that as instead it probably has to deal with the red priests here. So that is how, yeah, so that's how I'm going to interpret those results. So I wonder, maybe is there a red priest or something that is looking for Wyatt? Maybe this is a way for the red priests to intervene. So I wonder if they're trying to cause like a distraction or something outside of the Lamassu Hotel. So let's see, is a red priest around? Oh, I think this was an 18. I think I accidentally bumped it. Okay, so yes. So bright and modern. So bright I'm gonna interpret as maybe a distraction of some sort. So maybe over here we have, we'll use this mini. So there is a couple red priests that are coming in. So the red priests that are showing up, so these guys are probably concerned that Wyatt hasn't come back yet. Okay. And maybe they're like barging into the hotel here, and the doorman, the gremlin, is trying to, you know, hold them off. And let's see, I wonder if maybe he would probably trigger something to let the rest of the Lamassu loyalists and staff know that they are in danger with red priests. So does he send like a signal of some sort? Okay, so 63. I was thinking of 50-50. Okay, so that is a no. So maybe they were able to take him hostage, so he's unable to maybe press like a red button or something that kind of flags to everyone that the Lamassu Hotel is, you know, under attack by these red priests. And I can picture the leader of the red priests. He's probably yelling out front, saying to give us back our kid Wyatt here. And maybe like Susan, you know, she's worried, and Wyatt's probably like, oh my god, like finally someone's gonna help me out here. And yeah, and so I can picture Susan. She's saying, oh, I wanted to get ready to sleep and relax for the night, and of course the red priests are bugging us. Susan is going to clutch onto Wyatt's hood and say to him that he's not done yet, and he probably has this look of relief, seeing that the red priests are coming to rescue him. And so now it's at this weird little standoff. So it looks like the red priests are saying, we have your gremlin doorman if you want him alive. I want to do an exchange. I'll give you your doorman if you give us Wyatt back. And you know, Susan, she's probably not really intimidated by the red priests because of how much money she has and how successful she is. And so yeah, I'm wondering, I'm almost wondering if she would probably maybe call for backup. Yeah, so I can picture her either calling for backup, or she can probably just kind of you know, have pity on them, and say like, you know what, you can have Wyatt back. I'm not interested anymore. So yeah, let's see here. So I wonder if she will call for backup. So we'll say 50-50, and let's see. Okay, so 88. So that is a no, and another random event happens. Okay, so she doesn't call for backup, so she's probably not really intimidated by the red priests. So let's see what happens instead. So we got a 28 and an NPC action here. Okay, so an NPC action, I'm almost wondering if maybe the gremlin would do something. So yeah, maybe the doorman gremlin will do something. We will roll on action 1 table. So we got a 92. So transform. Okay, so this gremlin doorman transform, and we got 03. Okay, so activate. Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe she is not intimidated by the group of red priests, because what if this doorman gremlin is actually a shapeshifter, and maybe he can shapeshift into this huge creature and he could just wipe out the red priests. So okay, so let's see. Doorman gremlin will transform into a huge monster of some sort. So yeah, so maybe that's why she's not intimidated. Maybe he has a special drug on hand that allows him to shapeshift into a big monster. Yeah, maybe a manticore. I kind of like that idea. Okay, so this gremlin, does he turn into a manticore? So I'm gonna ask the fate chart. I'm gonna ask the fate chart here. So either a manticore, or maybe turn into an ogre, like a huge ogre. So now let's see. Does he turn into a manticore? So we got a 77, so that's a no. Okay, so he doesn't turn into a manticore, he turns into a large ogre. So I'm gonna use this mini, so I'm gonna use Kevin over here to represent our doorman gremlin that turns into an ogre. Okay, so we have Susan over here kind of laughing at the red priests, and she says, "You have no idea who you just took as hostage." Behind them, they start to hear this growl, this low growl, and then they see hovering this huge ogre, and the gremlin doorman, which is now the ogre, he's telling them to leave and leave them alone. And so I wonder if they would perhaps fight this this ogre over here. So yeah, so let's see. I wonder, I think what I'm gonna do for fighting for NPCs specifically, since Wyatt is not directly involved in this fight here. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have 2 dice. So this one will represent the red priests, and then this one will represent the let's see, the huge ogre here. So I think I'm gonna have these 3 roll twice, since they are a party. So yeah, so let's see here. Okay, so we got a 4, and then we got a 3, and then the next one, if this is higher than a 4, then they have at least hurt the ogre. So let's see here. 5, perfect. Okay, so this huge ogre is coming in to attack the red priests, and fortunately the leader of the the red priests, he was able to kind of sense the ogre's next move and moves behind him and knocks out one of his legs. So with his great sword, he knocks off one of the ogre's legs. I can sense Susan is very fixated on like the fight here, and she's trying to tell the Dorman gremlin to beat their ass. And let's see, with Wyatt, I feel like this will be his chance now to run and escape. So I think for Wyatt here, I can imagine him trying to maybe like climb over the front desk, and I want to see if there's going to be like a wall. I want to see if there's like a window that he can escape through. So I'm going to roll and ask. I feel like it's very likely. Okay, so we got a 76, and for very likely, okay, so that is above a 75. So there is a window, but I'd say that he was able to jump over the front desk. They're kind of preoccupied with what's going on over here, and the window is shut, and so he needs to break open the window. So maybe he's going to take the hilt of his great sword and kind of bang against the window to break it open. And so we are going to do I think we're going to do this check over here for maybe climbing, running, and then we can probably see if he can do a skill check for busting the window open. So okay, so we are going to do a I think I have to roll a 2d6. Yes. Okay, so I'll roll these two. So 2d6, and he has to roll under or equal to the skill here. Okay, so this, I'm just gonna like add the total here. So this would be 1, 2, and 3. So it has to be under an 8. Okay, so okay. So that was a fail. So he got an 11. So maybe he was able to like bust through the window and escape, but he did get injured here. So let's see. We'll do like a d6 of damage. Okay, so we got a 2. So now he's at 19, and he busted his arm. And let's see how this next round is going for the red priests and this huge ogre. So let's see how it's going. Whoops. So we're gonna roll and see. Okay, they got a 4 again. Okay, they got a 6. So perfect. So they were able to, maybe this other guy was able to climb up the ogre's body and get up to his face and like stab him in the eye or something. And so now this ogre has fallen, and she's kind of freaking out seeing how they defeated the ogre. And now she's kind of looking around trying to see like, oh shit, like where's that boy? And Wyatt is running. He's running and he's injured, and he says, guys, come on, let's go. It's not worth it anymore. Let's go. And so now they are going to go ahead and escape. So we will do a run kind of skill check here. We have to get below a 7. Okay, so we got a 4, so perfect. So they're able to run away from the Lamassu hotel, and Susan is probably upset that they got away, but now that she sees kind of the potential of, I guess, power and perseverance of the Red Priests, maybe she's going to come up with a plan now with her business partners and such to try to defeat the Red Priests here. Okay, so that was a success. So Wyatt was able to run away. Okay, so now it is late at night. So it is late at night, and the Red Priests and Wyatt, they have made it back to their little hangout place here. So this little building over here is kind of where they are all residing. Now that the Red Priests and Wyatt, they're all back at their little hub here. So they're probably asking him, okay, what is up with the Lamassu Hotel? Like, were you able to get any intel? We got worried about you, little dude, and we just wasn't sure. Like, we weren't sure if you were gonna come back, if she killed you. And Wyatt's probably, he's probably feeling very relieved and thankful, and he's telling them, like, Susan Lamassu is crazy. She has this crazy plan with this like weird ass like drug that kind of sucks out your memories, and then she puts it into this computer that converts all of that into a chip, and then she sells that to other worlds and black markets, and they're all probably just like taking all of this in. And then they're like, oh shit, well, we need to get a hold of these, at least the drugs. I feel like we'll have a hard time trying to catch trying to develop a computer chip, but I think if we're able to get a hold of these drugs or develop our own, then we have a pretty good competition with Susan Lamassu and her loyalists. And so, yeah, they're probably telling him, you did a good job trying to get all of that info for us, and we want to let you know that we have your back, Wyatt. And so I think he has built that trust. They're probably telling him to rest up for now, and they'll like tell him more about the mysterious woman that was last seen with the father. So I did kind of already have this idea for who this woman is. And so I think what they're going to do is, I think they're just going to tell him. I have a feeling that they already know like who, or not know 100% accurately, but have an idea of who this lady is. Okay, yeah, so 004, because I was thinking 50-50, but they're pretty confident about who this is. So they're gonna say that this particular lady is a witch, and she was known for dating really handsome men of TROIKA, but we haven't seen her around, and we've tried to contact her for just different things that our faction needs, but we haven't seen her at all. And so Wyatt's probably taking this in and asking, well, like, what is this witch, like, what did she do, like, does she have like a house like nearby that I can like sneak into and get like more information? Actually, we'll just roll, instead of asking the oracle, the fate chart, I'm just going to roll in the locations table to kind of see maybe who she is. Maybe I can roll for this too, the characters table. So where is she at? So we got a 10. So 10, charming. Okay, so maybe like a nice little spot of the town, charming. I don't know why, but I was thinking for like a charming little place. Maybe like a nice bar or a nice restaurant. Maybe that could be on the front. Let's roll on the characters and see. So we got a 26. Emotional and charming. I have a feeling it could either be the dance club or the performing stage here. So maybe this witch is maybe she's like a musician of some sort, or maybe like a DJ. So let's see. I do want to ask, I'm gonna say 50-50 from the chart here. Is she more likely to be at a dance club? Whoops. Okay, so we got an 87, so no. So not the dance club, but maybe there is a performance stage theater that she goes to. Maybe she's a dancer. So they're telling him, kid, you're too young to go to a place like this, but she is a very good dancer, and she performs at the theater. I'll just call it the TROIKA theater. But she hasn't performed there, and no one has like seen her. She's just kind of stopped her dancing career, so we have no idea where she's at. But we at least hope that that is good information for you to know, so you can figure out what happened to your dad here. So yeah, so Wyatt is gonna say, okay, I'll try to check out the theater. I'll have to figure out how to get around at the theater, knowing that, you know, he's underage. So now that Wyatt has a good idea, I think he's able to rest. And now I think now is a good time for him to see if he can reflect on some of his skills and see if he can increase his skills here. I think for advancing skills, I do want to see if he can do aware, if he can increase his skill point for awareness. So that will be has to be above a 7. Okay, so we got, oh cool, okay, sweet. So we got a 10. So now this is a 2 for awareness, and then so we can choose 3. So I think running will be a good one. So let's see. So that is a 5, 8. Oh, perfect. Okay. So running, he was able to increase that. And then we will do a climb. So that'll be our last one. So let's see if he can increase his skill for that. We got 5. Oh well. Okay, yeah, so he wasn't able to increase his skill for that, but okay, sweet. So he has an idea of where to go next to kind of get some answers and find who this strange witch dancer lady is. And I think he has a pretty good advancement kind of character progression right now. So he increased his skill in awareness and in running, so that's good. And I think Wyatt, before he calls it a night, I think he'll tell them like, well, what is her name? Does this fancy dancer witch lady, does she have a name? So okay, yeah, so here we'll roll on this and see. Okay, so we got a 69, so PH. The name that popped up for me was Phyllis. Okay, so we're gonna call her Phyllis. Okay, so they're gonna say she is a very attractive lady and her name is Phyllis. So Phyllis the dancer. So yeah, I can see like the red priest gang leaders probably like, I know it doesn't sound like a crazy like attractive name, but damn, Phyllis is a really good dancer. So he's probably telling Wyatt that, and they're telling him to watch his back if he is going into the theater, because it is heavily, you know, monitored as well, since this particular dance theater is for adults only. So he'll have to try to figure out a way to maybe befriend someone. Maybe one of the red priests can help him out at trying to get into the dance theater. So I don't know. We shall see next time, but I'm really liking where this adventure is going for Wyatt here. Okay, so that is it for today. I am really enjoying where this is going. I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. I love this weird world of TROIKA. So I'm really excited to see kind of what it's like at the dance theater. So yeah, well, that is it for today's adventure. Thank you so much as always for the support. Until next time.